everybody, it's your boy Mac Mall back with another reaction. Make sure y'all smash the sub, and remember, it don't cost you nothing to push your button. There we go.
He can't have a 9 to 5.
What? Why not? You don't want to have an honest job?
I mean, he could be a hustling entrepreneur.
So you want him to be you want CEO status?
Yes.
Okay, he can't
So
like,
he
can't
like,
clock in and clock out.
No.
Damn,
I
be
think
Simone.
Just my finances. Like the budgeting, you see how I am nitpicking every little thing.
Never
I've
like that.
never been like that. We were in Bloomingdale's yesterday. I'm like, we have to go to H&M. I just don't have it like to spend the liquid.
Yeah.
The hands of time, bro.
I'm gonna let the ladies.
Father
I'm gonna let
time.
the ladies have this shit right now, man.
I want to hear what the ladies got to say about this. That's what I want to.
Was there a question in that?
Yeah, because basically what we see as men is we see a woman with high standards and downgrade regular men talking about she can't deal with a man with a 9 to 5, and fast forward years later, now she talking about she got to shop at Zara's and shit.
DJ Maxx and Marshalls and shit.
I love to see that.
I would say this.
Sorry. I
would say this. Right? I never had that thought as far as, I don't want nobody clocking in 9 to 5. But in the beginning of my relationship, I think I was pulling in more money. Let's fast forward some years later, he's over 6 figures, right? I don't give a damn when he clock in. As long as he go and the mortgage is paid. Now, I don't know how that sounds. However he make it happen, however the fuck he make it happen, he's making it happen. You get what I'm saying? I don't understand why women feel like they're so entitled to come in with all of these expectations from a man, and they're not really bringing anything towards that. I don't quite understand that. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't.
Nobody has assessed their vagina. I would say accurately. A lot of vagina has not been assessed accurately, and they all think it's great. So they move like their vagina is just priceless, and this is all I need to bring. But it's very, very overvalued, and that's what happens. You get people like that. I need to get the top value, and I can't deal with an average dude. And Kevin Samuels used to always check that shit. He'd be like, what do you mean settle? You're not settling. You're getting somebody on your level. It would be an overweight, foreign-to-face woman talking about, do I have to settle too, Kevin? Settle? Your standard should be a pulse and a haircut. That's it. That's all you get. I don't know what's wrong with these women, boy. They be tripping.
A pulse and a haircut is crazy.
I'm for real. I'm rounding up.
Haircut is crazy.
That's it.
I can attest to that. I can say that women definitely overvalue themselves, and this is the whole reason why the passport bros is a thing. Because if women base their value upon their beauty and what they got between their legs, well, there's another demographic of women who might even better for a cheaper price.
Facts.
So, this is where it get misconstrued because a lot of women from the States, and we just came back from the DR, so and we had a good time. But a lot of women, and they'll say, I don't want to settle, and he ain't good enough for me. And it's like, do you want a good man or do you want to marry finances? What do you want to do? Because it seems like there's a little bit of confusion because a woman seemed like she want it all. She want a nigga that only want her and to cherish her and to praise her and make it all about her, but make more money than everybody she ever met and buy her shit that she ain't never had.
You know what? I feel like I mentioned this before on another set. I feel like women as a whole are, I'm gonna say us in the US, we're taught what to expect from a man, but there's no type of structure as to how to treat them. You know what I mean? So when you experience these women from other cultures and different countries, their upbringing and all of that is completely different from what we have here. And I feel like that plays a major part in how things turn out. Their dads spoil them. They take them to the father daughter dance. They buy them flowers. They take them out on dates. They do all this stuff. They say, "Baby girl, this is how a man is supposed to treat you." But nobody is telling them what they're supposed to do. That once you get this man, you come in contact with them, what you're supposed to do to like interact with them, maintain their interest, how to treat them, and things of that sort. I feel like that plays a major part in it too. Do y'all agree with
Yes.
that?
It's crazy because you
I
know
think that
you
kind of varies.
you know
You
Phoebe
think it
just
is?
came back from the DR with us, right? And remember when we was talking to that girl, what did she say? She said that the problem with United States women is
Let me say it.
they
Let me
don't
say it. Let me
appreciate
say it.
us. She
She
said they
said,
appreciate
"Don't."
hardworking men. You said what?
No, I was saying, let me say it, but you went ahead on and said. She said that, and
Yeah.
she was like, "No disrespect, but you know, our men are not like the men from the U.S." And she said, "We will appreciate men that work and get up. It doesn't matter the type of job or anything like that. It's the fact that they're getting up and they're trying to provide. But from what they see, how the women in the U.S. conduct themselves, how they act, how they talk, and all of that is rude and disrespectful to men. And they don't do that. Their culture, their countries, they don't treat their men that way. So
What was
that's
her
why they
name?
are so loving, all of them.
What was her
It doesn't
name?
matter her. It doesn't matter her name. It
I
doesn't matter her
forgot.
name.
I forgot her goddamn
It
name.
really does matter. I want to know who she
No,
is.
Just
no,
describe
no,
I
no, no.
forgot her
This,
name, but she
this
definitely
is
said
this
that.
is no, 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 no. This is how they. This is their mindset over there.
Hmm.
They look at the American women and say that the American women are rude and disrespectful, and we do not appreciate our men. The way that they are taught and the way that they are raised, which to me goes into what I was saying, is that they are not raised and taught to get loud, be rude, disrespectful, holler, curse, fight,
Hmm.
belittle them. All this stuff that you see that's common over here that the American women do, they don't do that. That is not how they are raised. That's not what they are taught. They
Yeah.
are taught to cater to. You know what I mean? So
She
it's
said her
different.
exact words was, "We are taught to need a man."
Ooh.
Yeah.
That made that shit. If she said that, that made me feel good right there, man.
I'm trying to
Type
tell you,
time.
they was treating me
But
like
hey,
a king.
but check this out, because I went somewhere where there was a lot of American women, and I'm like, you know what, ladies, she got a point. Y'all kind of got the game fucked up because I seen some big backs who thought they should get bad bitch treatments. You
It's
know what I'm
crazy,
saying?
bro. Crazy, bro.
And
Feedback.
I'm dead serious. They think they got just as much right for the top motherfucker like Holly Berry and Lupita and them. I'm like, nah, you seen you. You know what I'm saying? But seriously, when you keep up that narrative over here in the States, like I said this before, me, Maul, Red Pill, we win the billion dollar lottery jackpot or something like that. We gonna take care of our family and the people that ride with us.
Facts.
Probably before we take care of ourselves, right? We ain't gonna never say we don't need no woman. But if a woman win $1 billion, the first thing out y'all mouth would be like, "Oh, I don't need no man." You know what I'm saying? And you have to understand. I have to school black women on this one. It's a very triggering statement to a black man where our defenses go up because in the origin part of colonialism, the black man didn't exist. It didn't have a voice. Okay, and when slavery was dealt with, even if I, as a black man, say me and Vita was a married couple in the field, the slave owner could come take Vita, go beat up them cheeks real quick, and go on about his business, and I can't say shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we've been non-existent without a voice for so long. Like everybody comes before us, and then what worsens the situation is Now, when women have more options and a lot more freedom and a lot more opportunities, you kind of carry a slave owner's mentality.
Well, why wouldn't we feel some type of way if the slave owner was able to grab us and go beat our cheeks for, like as you just said? And yeah, you didn't have a say so, but we didn't have a say so in that either. So for women to be able to have a say so in how we live our lives and what we want to do and conquer for ourselves as we like, looking for a good mate or something like that or whatever. Like, what are we supposed to wait around and just be doing nothing?
So, Sonny, I bring that up in slavery terms. Now, at that time, you operating under survival. Now, say that
Still
happened.
is.
I'm gonna say me and you, Sonny, and say that the slave owner's son or something came back and he beat your walls in, right? And I rose up to say something. He gonna put out a pistol, blow my brains out right there in front of everybody just to make a point. So my life is more expendable than yours. They probably gonna give you a couple whips with the lashes and stuff like that when you learn your lesson, and you're still gonna spread them cheeks and operate. And when you modernize that, this is why that money, power, uh, um, resource thing is so important in exchange for sex. That's even applied to us to this day in dating terms.
Facts. I get it. It's subconscious.
It generationally embedded in your
Exactly.
DNA.
Yep. They seek who can protect them. So the strongest
Right.
man, the strongest person is gonna be the most attractive in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? And when you got
Facts.
bread, that looks like provision. That looks like you know what I'm saying? It
Look
looks like,
like
oh,
power.
okay, like future, yeah, power. Like I'm with the strongest dude. Like I got,
Mhm.
yeah. So I know exactly what he's saying. It's psychological for real.
That's facts.
Yep.
Well,
But I want to
I
be just
have to,
Jordan the Diotto.
well, I want to add this right. I really have to. I put some thought in this myself, and I said, how is it that first of all, how do we even get here where we like, the
Like,
sisters and the brothers,
that's
we
fact.
so
Yeah.
divided? How did we even get
But
here,
I
right?
want to be with Diana.
But I have to say that y'all have to remember with these mentalities that women had, our music is the number one thing that get in our either DNA, get in our head, shape our mentality, our mindset, how we socialize and interact with one another. Y'all gotta remember back in 1988, 1989, when NWA dropped Fuck the Police, and then they dropped, that was the group, that's when they took hip hop from empowerment to disempowerment. That's when
No, 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 no.
Hold on, let me just finish this, right?
I'm sorry. I'm
So
sorry.
from NWA, shit went the image of the black man went down, the image of the black woman went down. Cause that's when the most bitches and hoes got called, because before in music we was not called that. In the hip hop it was all about, self-destruction. You had it for everybody was working together, everybody was self-empowered, we like was building each other up. Hip hop came from us wanting to come from up under these struggles that we understood we both endured together. Okay, so that started the decline and the thug image for the grown man and the bitch and hoe image for the woman. So the brothers was the thugs and the shooters and the killers. Everybody want to be shooter killers. So before it took, because I remember it was still a time where even though Eazy-E and NWA and them was rapping all that shit, like especially in the 90s, like regular guys, if you look back at like tapes and all that shit, Freakniks, anything, it was regular guys. I don't care if they was corny, I don't care if their shirt was buttoned up to the top, whatever they was, they still got play from all the sisters. Nobody was just curved like today. So as you fast forward, women then started to take on, because the niggas was rapping about ass and, oh, I want the bitch to look like this and all that. Da, 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 da. Women start to embody these identities, right? In addition to like what Luke was redropping, he had strippers on tour with him. So now this whole culture is now taken on because it's being pedestalized. Like, hey, this whole stuff, what's up? It's a bitch, it's a hoe. I'm a thug, I'm a nigga, I'm a killer, I'm a gangster. Okay. Now the women are embodying this, And then we see this wave, but I know LaKim was the first. But I remember when LaKim came out, like she was on talk shows all the time, taking so much slack. Like your music is messed up, you shouldn't do this. Even like Luke and NWA was even getting sued and stuff. Like it was congressmen speaking against their stuff. They label was dropping them because the music was so controversial. Okay, fast forward as this keep being a thing. Now women have embodied this identity and men embodied the thug. Everybody want to be against the thug, the killer. Nobody want to go, like even young niggas, anybody under 30, you won't see them even want to go in the job and shit. And then the women don't want a nigga in the job. So it's like, damn, don't nobody think they average, don't nobody think they regular or whatever. Okay. So now it's like this shit has corrupted us so bad. And it's like we talk about each other, but it's like how did we even get here to think that this shit is the way to go? So that's what I'm saying, because we was in families, in households, still doing shit like that up until, the early 90s. And then that shit, like, it became a thing of like the neighborhoods and the community was still village. Like you could go in your neighbor house or down the street, cross street, eat shit like that, take a bath, whatever it was, just like it was your own mom house. That is not even like that no more. We lost these things. So when we understand this, it's like, okay, we gotta say this music is so ratchet, is messing us up. And then because it's embodying identities that is not working for us, it's destroyed the family. Nobody want to do regular shit no more, and everybody know they gotta be regular before you be whoever you think you finna be. And it's just like destroying us to the point now that it's on the internet and we be beefing, or like the whole world know, like Phoebe say, you go out the country and they like, man, y'all doing this to y'all men, but our men was doing it to us too, like in the music, or like you bitching hoes, all that stuff. Now women call themselves that, and it's just like now we turning against y'all. Oh, we don't need y'all. Like, so I'm just saying, like, how all this shit happened
Well, let
in
me
my
ask you
home.
this.
or
Yeah.
or even being acceptive of it as men, because like that, I mean, a lot of people, I hear a lot of men say that the ones with the BBLs, that's the ones that they just fucking with, but that's not the ones that they cuffing or something like that or whatever. But I mean, you see them with them all the time. That's
I'm
the
a,
ones
I'm
that
a,
they
I'm
going
a,
out.
I'm gonna sit here and say this. Like, Vita, what you're saying is partially true, but some of it is incorrect. And I'm gonna trigger a lot of people when I'm about to say, but I don't give a damn. The one thing that goes not disclosed, and you have to ask like your mom and your grandma this shit. It started with Cosmopolitan magazine because they had a chief editor who is now a nun back in Cosmopolitan magazine back in the 60s and 70s that was always promoting the white mimic, how she can do things without a man. And they was getting all these acknowledgments where the female could be seen in magazines and stuff like that. And if you ask your mama and grandma and them that grew up in that time, they used to want to be and envy that. And so they started trying to do that and tell their kids and raise their kids, okay, you could do like they promote this magazine, which was designed to separate the man and the woman. Okay. Black women took that shit way too far. Now, us as black men, when you brought up NWA and stuff in hip hop, you're absolutely right. It fed right into it, but it was a big difference between hip hop and reality rap. And the first reality rapper was KRS-One, because if you go back and remember and how it correlates to hip hop and entertainment, KRS-One used to always talk the reality shit that MTV banned his ass. And then years later, they came up with MTV Raps, and that was the window when Ice Cube and them took the reality rap and extended it, and we gravitated to it because we felt it from like a 9 to 5 guy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's why it's a little bit triggering, and so we feed into a little bit. And because we refer to it
A
like the
lot.
women as the bees and hoes and shit like that, women kind of sit there like, damn, that's how these men really think about us. But they're telling you it from a regular person's perspective. Okay, because
Man,
every
Bob,
woman
man,
wants a tough guy.
I gotta keep it 100, man. All this shit that we going through is
Mm-hmm.
women's fault. It's just that simple. It's women's fault because women rule the world and they act like they don't know this. right? They are the dictators of everything that a man does.
But
Everything
You
we do
but
saying
is
Ma,
to
you
impress a
saying
but
that
Ma,
they
female,
won't let
but
a
right?
Ma,
man
Jamal,
have
I'm
I
saying
gotta
the
say,
original.
Jamal,
I'm saying the original part is black
Let me
women
say
back
one
in the
thing.
day wanted to be like white women, and
Women
they're trying to
don't know
take that
that.
playbook and run with it. I'm saying back in the day.
Everything a man does is for a woman, right?
Facts.
She dictates everything that that man does. Even when a man get in a relationship, it's happy wife, happy life. Everything you do is revolved around her. So this is the
whatever.
reason why women are getting treated the way they are is because they allowing it. This is the energy that they giving off. A
Oh,
man
they
is only,
allowing it. It's crazy.
yeah, because my thing is this, right? I'm a man of many talents. I like all kinds of women, whether they be bougie, whether they be bad, whether they be ugly, whether they be thick, they might be overweight, they might be broke, they might be corporate. I like all kinds of women. But the thing about it is I go about getting those women all in different ways. I don't talk to all of them the same way.
Right.
So which means is when I meet a woman, the way I should treat her, she has to demand it. She has to have that aura that has that type of respect to get treated in a certain type of way. The aura that you give off is the aura that you're gonna get from a man. And it's like if I meet a woman and she's a corporate woman and I peep her out and I see how she move, I'm gonna approach her like a gentleman. You can't approach hoes like gentlemen. You gotta approach hoes like you that nigga. And it's just that simple.
Hey,
So
Ma,
when you talk to hoes, you got to approach them like you got to have a certain level of aggression.
I'm
You got
telling
to
you.
have a certain level of confidence, and you definitely got to have some money. And
There's certain men out here that mistreat
you got to
every
be
female like
somewhat
hoes.
overconfident to talk to a hoe that's bad.
hey,
Because
Ma,
she thinks she the top of the litter, and for you to approach her, you got to act like she's beneath you.
hey, Ma. I'm gonna simplify what you. I'm gonna expound and simplify what you just said. If you
Go
want to
ahead.
say men lose a good woman, women can never get with a good man.
Expound on that. Let me hear that.
Yeah.
I grew up with a whole bunch of females, right? So around the age about 12, 13 years old, y'all think y'all know everything, right? Now I already think y'all know everything, okay? That's why that mother-daughter jump off is so deadly. Okay. So when I hear a woman say, "Oh, well, I just don't know. I don't know," I'm like, "You lying to me, motherfucker," because ever since you were 12 years old, you thought you knew every fucking thing. So I don't even give them an excuse for that no more.
Facts.
But a man even going through the struggle, if you know everything, you will say, "You know what? I know he got a 9 to 5, but he got the drive to do something greater. I'm gonna invest my energy." No, I got to go with the finished product. Problem with the finished product is that nigga gonna be exercising all his fucking options. He gonna do some bamboozling. And if you don't get picked, it's a whole fucking problem and ain't me and shit. And then that same motherfucker that you was dragging with that 9 to 5 or still in school, go on and he hit that shit. Y'all want to try to spin the block, but guess what? Another chick that already screwed him up, and he ain't paying your ass no attention no more.
But see, hold on, don't get their hopes up with that, because he gonna do it out of spite now. He gonna get his, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't
Oh
play me
yeah,
off. I was hey
I've
big
done it.
head when that hey big head come back around. Oh,
Hey, hold
I'm
on,
on
I've done it.
I can
my
attest
horns
to
pop
that.
out.
I've,
Yeah, my
I've
I
done
horns
can
it.
pop.
attest to
I've done
that.
it, and
Facts.
I've done it, and I'm like, you know what? I do this. I do this and have this method for the perspective of you're not gonna have anything to say about me. I say I let you know. I'm like, look, where the sky could have been a limit between us, you officially put a lid on this jar.
Yeah,
All week I said so. When you put that lid on the jar, all we can do is be as friends with benefits or fuck buddies.
yeah.
If you see me talking to somebody else and getting serious with them, you have no leeway because when I was going through the mud, you were nowhere around.
I mean,
Oh,
some niggas fall. Some niggas they. I ain't gonna lie. I was one of them. Off. I had to get my back. She owed me some. I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
yeah,
We
facts.
we grew up and she saw me years later and found out, oh, one of them niggas. Oh yeah, you owe me some. We ain't finna be together, but I still want to hit.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Was it worth it? I'm just curious.
A lot of times, no, but it's an ego thing.
Yeah, you just
Mhm.
got to put that on the scoreboard. Nah, I feel that, but
You feel me?
I can't relate.
you know what, Vita? When you was talking, you know what's happening is we need to bring back shame. I think everybody started embracing the dope boys. Everybody started embracing the thottery, thinking that shit cool. I just went. We did. The girl from the Baddies came to Kansas City last night. Takashi or whatever her name is. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
I know you're
She
talking about.
came, bro. When I tell you, Tashiki, yeah, her. I ain't never heard of this motherfucker. We go to the shit, my nigga. And yeah, he didn't got the VIP. We go in there, and I'm looking at how these girls is like waiting in line, like it was just amazing. And I'm like, what does she do? Oh, bro, she on the show. What show? Baddies. What do they do? Oh, they fighting that ratchet. I'm like, bro, you are a celebrity for being a thought now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
it's glorified.
that's always been.
That is crazy.
That blew up.
It's
That
trendy.
blew up. That
It's
blew
trendy.
up with Kim. When Ray J dropped that tape of Kim K, with Kim K and her, and that literally put her whole family on. That fucked all the girls' heads up.
And social media,
It really did.
Like literally, her sex tape got her the billionaire status, and then like motherfuckers was marrying her. Like she was going Reggie. I mean, she went with Ray J for a long time. Then she went with Reggie Bush. Then she married that white boy. Then Kanye married her. They like, oh, this whole shit is what's up.
Yeah. Yeah. But see that's where we gotta put some limits on it though. Like, bitch, you not Kim though. That's what I don't be
Kim
understanding.
Kim ain't even all that. She's not all that.
But the point is women, they be like, well, Kim got it. Well, Sierra got it. Well, all these women that just pulled a fucking rabbit out the hat towards the end of the middle end of their life, women, they live like that. Like, nah, I still got hope. Half a decade go by, 20 years go by.
But you ain't put into consideration that these hoes got clout behind their name too. So a nigga would jump out the window for some clout.
Yeah, but see, that's them though. This bitch got 800 followers and she followed 3,000. You ain't that, bitch. You feel
But
me?
you gotta realize the reason. That's what I'm telling y'all. The reason they think that was from the music, because y'all gotta understand in the rap music, because when it became a title to call the sisters bitches and hoes, it became like when they embodied it, because first the sisters was fighting it like stop with that, especially like Yo-Yo, Queen Latifah, even Lil Kim caught the slack. Like at the beginning of when this was coming out, they was like, what's going on? Like this ain't what hip hop about. Okay, so now the women finally embracing it, and it's a badge of honor to be saying bitch and her.
Right.
So now she know that Kim was just regular as fuck. Fucking with Ray J, you was regular than a motherfucker. You was a nobody. You wasn't doing shit. So you really became famous from a sex tape. It wasn't even like that sex tape was all that, but you just became famous. And now we know her mama pushed it out and did all this shit behind the scenes. But it's like because that was so glorified, and then you gotta remember she was just a basic ass girl, and then still got these, athletes, rich niggas, and they was marrying her with her, and then you got a slew of kids by Kanye West. Like,
yeah, but
you can't
you know what though?
Regular girl that shit don't work for regular girl. See what I'm saying?
The reason why these average ass girls got their head so far up their ass, you can't talk to them. I gotta put that blame all on the men, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Let's do it.
Because a man will fuck anything.
Yeah.
And what happens is these top niggas then slid off with something bogus one of them nights, and now her motherfucking head is big because she didn't fuck the top dog. So now she thinks she deserve all top dogs because one done slid off on a little late night creep type shit.
You talking some real shit because it's been one. It's not even the top nigga to slide off with her, right? But before the top nigga, it's been a one regular dude that said, all right, I'm gonna get this bottom of the night chick, man. And turn out that motherfucker is a certified embalmer. You know what I'm saying? Suck the soul out. You know what I'm saying? And word get around quick. So that top nigga wanna like, wait, I wanna see what it's up. In her mind, it's like, think about it. In her mind, all right, this is a regular nigga on my level, okay, such and such. But now you get a top dog coming to get you. Now she like, oh, wait a minute. All right, he way better. He got way more going on than this motherfucker. Let me see what kind of top nigga I can get.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? And so now Now
But
they think
Yeah,
all they deserve is them type of niggas, and they
right.
head
right.
get big because they didn't got a few of them.
But see,
Niggas
Matt,
just
check
be
this
doing
out.
But
shit.
that's
I
how.
know niggas, man.
When you go to the barbershop and you hear the homies talk, they be like, "Hey, bro, I took one down last night, boy. This bitch was flawless." You hear me? But he know he going back to reality. He know that.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
be in the
Yeah.
beauty shop like, Travis Kelsey winked at me. This bitch then switched her whole mentality.
I'm listen.
Man,
We
eat
come back
all kinds of eat the ugly ones, the fat ones. Niggas is sliding off. If
and
a fat girl or an ugly girl texts you like, man, slide over, and they don't even be wanting no time. They just be want to do what they want to do. That's a
Hold on.
max 30 minutes, and you can go on about your motherfucking life.